Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today, I am going to be bringing to you another ladder game played on the Battle.net ladder. Spawning in the top left position of Bel Shir Vestige, as the red Zerg we have LzGaMeR. His opponent spawning in the bottom right position as the blue Protoss we have Emyndri? Emyndri? I'm going to call him Emyndri from now on, just because I don't know how to actually pronounce this guy's name. So, both of these players are going to be very high-ranked players. LzGaMeR, I believe, is currently a high Grandmaster level player, or not high Grandmaster, but he's somewhere in the top 100 Grandmaster on the North American ladder. And Emyndri here at the time of this game was about a rank 4 Masters level player. So both these players are very, very good players. LzGaMeR, of course, being a professional level player, he is quite good. Alright, so let's talk about ZVP and how much this matchup has changed ever since Heart of the Swarm was released. Now, a lot has changed in this matchup, and a lot has changed in the openings of both of these players, both Protoss and for Zerg. Why? Because of the mothership. The mothership has made a huge difference in the way this beginning matchup plays out. Now let's talk about how in Wings of Liberty this matchup used to go. Very often, Protoss players would forge fast expand. They would throw down a forge, they would throw down a cannon, and a nexus. Maybe not necessarily in that order, but something like that, right? Those set of buildings will come up at the beginning of the game. And that was because they needed to be able to hold off any kinds of early Zergling pressure, early Roach pressure. All of that can be held off by those early cannons. But with the addition of the Mothership Core, which all you need for the Mothership Core here is the Cybernetics Core, with that you can hold off a lot of those early Roach attacks. Why? The Mothership Core itself has an attack ability, but it can also power up a Nexus, so that a Nexus basically acts like a super long-range cannon and does quite a bit of damage. The Planetary Nexus, as it has been called. So this means that Protoss players these days are allowed to go Gateway first. They can go Gateway first, Cybernetics Core, and then the Nexus. Or in the case of Emyndri here, he's going to be going for this Gateway into Nexus and then going for his Cybernetics Core. So, now, we've talked about why Protoss players can open up this way, but let's talk about now how Zerg has to change in Heart of the Swarm to be able to account for this. This means that, in general, Zerg players, well, actually, before we even get into that, let's talk about what Zerg used to do. What Zerg used to do against Protoss is he said, well, you're getting up that forge, you're getting up some cannons, so you're going to be sitting here defensive for a while. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3 bases really fast. I'm going to drone those up like crazy. I'm going to get as much gas as I possibly can. And then I'm just going to try to tech and just get as much stuff as I can, because I know that you're going to take a little bit of time to get up your tech. But these days, with the Cybernetics Core coming up this fast, this Warp Gate research can come down quite quickly, and I would imagine that we're going to see that Warp Gate research going down right away, yeah. So we see that this Warp Gate research is going down right away, and somewhere we'll probably see a Mothership Core coming out here very soon. So what does this mean? The Warp Gate research now comes down much faster, which means that there's a lot more potential for gateway rushes, warp gate rushes very early on. So for Zerg players, this means you're still going to try to get your third base up. This hatchery was taken around the 4-minute and 30-second mark, which is the normal time from Wings of Liberty. But now you have to be much more careful about how quickly you take your gas. Notice here he's taken 1 gas geyser only so that he can start to get up his Zergling speed. No other gas has come down at all at any of these bases, and he's sticking strictly with mining minerals, mining lots and lots of minerals. Why? Because minerals generally translate into army units. Generally, when we see minerals, they can be turned into army units, whereas gas is more for tech, right? If you look at any tech-based units, the big heavy hitter units like High Templar, or Ghosts, or Infestors, those cost a lot of gas, low minerals, right? But the core army units cost a lot of minerals. Roaches, Hydralisks, Zealots, Stalkers, they're much more mineral heavy. So minerals can generally be looked at as the army producing resource, whereas gas is more the tech-oriented resource. So as you can see here, LzGaMeR has even taken taking guys out of gas here, just one guy in gas after that Zergling speed has come up, because he just wants to focus strictly on getting up drones, and he wants to be able to produce lots of lings and roaches if he needs to be able to do that early on. Now, one other thing that this Mothership Core allows Protoss players these days to do is to move out. As we saw him doing a little while ago, he moved out with one Zealot and that Mothership Core. And just by doing that, look at that. He forced lings out of his opponent. His opponent had to make these lings in order to account for the fact that that Mothership Core and that one Zealot might come in and try to deal some damage. This also sometimes means that a Zerg player will be forced to throw down creep tumors and miss some injects because he'll want to connect his bases with creep so that he can get his queens out here to be able to defend against this Mothership Core, because he needs something that can shoot up. So already Emyndri has done a fantastic job of forcing units out of LzGaMeR, but this has all become very, very standard. We do see a second gas now coming down here for LzGaMeR, but what do we see finishing up in the Protoss place? We saw the Twilight Council come down, and now we have the Dark Shrine finishing up, and as well as this pylon, this forward pylon here where he can start to warp in units. LzGaMeR now taking the Xel'Naga watchtowers, and he's even going to be coming down here to check on this third to see if a third is going down. And some ways, gateways going down here at the front here for Emyndri. Not a whole lot of other things going on here, but the first round of Dark Templar have now been warped in. 3 Dark Templar now going into this third base, and LzGaMeR doesn't have any form of detection at all. The lair is going up right now, but there are no spore crawlers up. This lair won't be done for quite a long time, and these Dark Templar are now going to be moving into this third base, and LzGaMeR there now knows that these Dark Templar are out on the field, and there is nothing he can do about it. There's nothing he can do to stop these Dark Templar from doing damage to this third. We see that the Spore Crawler is going down in the main and in the natural expansion, but this lair is still so far away from completing. He's just going to have to pull his drones and try to get out of there, and it looks like this hatchery might just go down. One Queen goes down. One Dark Templar going to try to come into the natural here to try to deal some damage. In the meantime, Overlords are scouting into the base of Emyndri, so we can try to find out what exactly his opponent is doing behind these Dark Templar, and it looks like with that Spore Crawler finishing, that one Dark Templar is going to go down, but those other 2 Dark Templar are going to be able to get that hatchery, and this is a huge loss here for LzGaMeR. Notice LzGaMeR has also been forced to produce a whole lot of lings here. So if we check out the harvester count right now, we can see that LzGaMeR is sitting at 49 harvesters to the 52 of Emyndri, and not only that, we have Emyndri taking a third base right now. This is going to mean that his third base is going to be coming up faster than LzGaMER's, and so this is absolutely fantastic for him. We also see a double robotics facility now going down here for Emyndri as well, so he's going to be able to start double producing Immortals. We also see the Stargate is now down producing the Void Rays. And why is this such a brilliant idea here from Emyndri? Because he just took out a base of his opponents. His opponent is kind of hurt economically, and so now, if he's coming out with Void Rays, his opponent is going to be forced to go into Hydralisk, because he's forced to get out more tech, more other units. A lot of Zerg units this early on cannot shoot up. The Roaches and the Lings don't shoot up, so he's going to have to focus on getting out these Hydralisks, and that delays this third base. That delays this third base quite a lot. But there are a lot of lings on the map here for LzGaMeR, so he's going to try to come in here, might even try to force a cancel on this third base. Looks like this first ling is now going in here and just now going to be scouting that third base is going down, so these lings are going to come back around right now. Do spot that the Void Ray is now out on the field. Third base coming up here for LzGaMeR, but it's behind the third base of Emyndri here, so LzGaMER is at a huge disadvantage right now. Huge economic disadvantage. In the base of Emyndri, we do see now that the Zealot charge is now coming down. Hydralisk Den has completed, Grooved Spines is on the way, and a whole lot of Hydralisks are now being produced, moving out onto the field. LzGaMeR pretty much has to do this. He needs to come in here. Some damage has to be dealt to his opponent here. But Emyndri, I think, is looking pretty safe right now. More gateways now going down here, bringing him up to a total of, looks like, 6 gateways. And he's already got double Immortal production going on here. And, oh, that one Void Ray taking so much damage from these Hydralisks. But no, it looks like they're just a little bit too slow. And it looks like that Photon Overcharge from that Mothership Core is going to be going down. That is the Planetary Nexus ability. So it allows that Nexus to be able to fire. And do quite a bit of damage too, if I might add. Yeah, it looks like 60 seconds, 20 damage per shot, and it fires pretty quickly as well. These lings just running around the map right now, trying to see what kind of just sitting around on the edges. What can they possibly pick off? Because I think that pushing into this base right now is going to be really, really, really difficult for LzGaMeR to be able to do, just because he is double producing Immortals right now. Void Rays are now coming out onto the field, a whole lot of gateway units, and even 2 Archons now have been moved onto the field. 3 bases of full mining here for Emyndri. In the meantime, looks like LzGaMeR hasn't even managed to get up this 3rd base. He's trying to mine some gas now from that 3rd base, but there we go. 19 drones now being produced here for LzGaMeR. And in the meantime, he's going to try to push into this natural expansion here, coming in with a whole lot of Link, coming in with a whole lot of Hydras. Going to be focusing down that Void Ray. The Void Ray goes down rather quickly, but all the forces from the Stealth are now coming up right now. There's a lot of Zealots that he has to deal with. These Zealots do not have any upgrades, but neither do any of these units. And the Time Warp from the Mothership Core goes down all over all of these Hydralisks. What does this mean? This means that these Hydralisks absolutely cannot retreat. They are forced to sit here and fight. You see how slow they move under that Time Warp? They're so slow that they have to fight. They have no choice but to fight. And so LzGaMeR is now in an absolutely horrendous position here. He's on 3 bases, mining 3 bases, but he needs to take a 4th base. Looks like he's gearing up to take a 4th base, but he's matched bases with his opponent. Being matched base with a Protoss player at this point is, you're already behind. We do see the Enduring Locust upgrade coming up here for LzGaMeR. We do see 5 Swarm Hosts coming down as well, and but we do see a 4th base now coming down here for Emyndri, and this is going to put him in a fantastic economic position. High Templar now coming down as well. There's that Templar Archives now researching that Psionic Storm, which will be done here in about another 60 seconds. No Blink research yet, but that charge has been finished. 1 Dark Templar has been warped in here to try to take on this 4th, and it looks like LzGaMeR is going to be reacting to this. He does not want to lose this hatch. This hatch is absolutely critical. LzGaMeR is already playing from behind, and so anything at this point that he loses is going to be a big loss, and it looks like he's going to be able to come in here and be able to pick off that Dark Templar. But again, even if LzGaMeR gets this up, the 4th base is already coming down here for Emyndri. This base would have had to have been up and running, and he should be taking a 5th base right now as opponent takes his 4th base, but he's just playing from behind right now. The Swarm Hosts are now up, so it's possible that LzGaMeR might be able to do something with these Swarm Hosts. If we check out the unit counting station right now, we can see that there is absolutely no detection out right now for Emyndri. There is nothing out there, but his army is huge. Look at the number of Immortals out in this army right now. He has got a total of 8 Immortals in this army, and this is absolutely huge. Moving out onto the field right now, which LzGaMeR did see with this Zergling on the Xel'Naga Watchtower, so he knows that these units are moving out, so he's trying to get his Swarm Hosts here. He should be trying to get his Swarm Hosts into a good position here to be able to fight. This 4th base, I think, is sadly going to fall here for LzGaMeR. This is going to be an absolutely terrible position to be in. Swarm House now coming out onto the field right now. They are going to burrow, and there's no detection here for Emyndri. He could possibly take this army if he can keep his opponent here fighting long enough. 1 Psystorm goes down. Nice dodge there by LzGaMeR. But the Locusts are now out here doing a whole lot of damage, taking out some units here, but there's just not enough stuff here for LzGaMeR, as he's currently sitting 145 food to the 167 food of Emyndri. Trying to dance around right now, trying to buy as much time for these Locusts to be able to deal damage. 1 Storm does go down, but there are no Storms remaining, so these Locusts can continue to deal damage here. Still no detection being morphed in here for Emyndri, and all the Hydralisks now falling. These Swarm Hosts not being able to deal any damage, and it looks like that now this army is now moving into the natural expansion of LzGaMeR. The natural hatch does fall, and these Locusts doing a fantastic job of picking up all of the reinforcements here from Emyndri, but this is still a very big, very scary army. He's got some Templar in the mix here, and oh, nice little pick off there from LzGaMeR as he manages to pick off a few of those High Templar that were sitting out there, but now these units are just moving up the ramp here, and he really needs to get these Swarm Hosts. I don't know why he's not moving these Swarm Hosts back. He needs to get them back here to be able to defend against this big push, because there's still no detection here for Emyndri. If he can get up in here, then Locusts could possibly take out a lot of this army, everything but the Void Rays, really. And here we go, we do see that these are now coming back here, but so much damage being dealt. Both hatcheries soon go down. This means that LzGaMeR is down to just this 1 hatchery. He's in a lot of trouble here. Locust going to be swarming in here, going to try to pick off some of these units. These Locusts do a ton of damage right now. You can see that they are actually dealing a ton of damage to these Immortals. These Void Rays are remaining. These 2 Hydralisks not going to be quite enough to pick those off. But these Immortals will eventually fall, because there's no way for these Immortals to get out, but they're going to be focusing down on Hydralisk down. Hydralisk is going down. There's no layer tech out. All that he can make at this point is just circle. I think that's all that there is for him to possibly make, as some Zealots do come in here to this third base, but LzGaMeR, realizing there's absolutely nothing he can make, is going to be forced to GG out of this one. So rough game there for LzGaMeR, but extremely well played here by Emyndri. Beautifully played game here, demonstrating the way a modern ZVP works quite well. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me at GLiTCHStarCraft on Twitter and Facebook.com/GLiTCHStarCraft. And you can even check me these days at Twitch.tv/GLiTCHStarCraft. I stream about 5 days a week. Going to be trying to get up some more games onto this channel here very soon. Also going to start to do some tutorials. Going to start to do, I want to do a short series of 5-minute tutorials. Just quick little videos that you can watch if you are in the lower leagues, bronze, silver, gold, maybe even platinum, but something for those lower leaguers. Just, good solid ways of practice, quick little 5-minute lessons, things to do to improve your play at that lower level. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and that's going to do it for me. Glitch, out.